Just like that, we're live.
Just like that, we're live.
We are live, guys. Episode 95 of the MMA Fight Pass podcast. This is episode 26 of the virtual podcast, guys. Since we started with the whole coronavirus and everything, we went on to the virtual podcast. I hope everybody out there is doing good. I know things might be a little tough right now for everybody. We got this little second wave of the coronavirus going down. And I know some people's gyms are closing up and things aren't going like they normally would. But just keep your head up, guys. I know we're going to get through this. Next thing you know, the coronavirus will be over. We'll keep going. Archie, how you doing, my brother?
Hey, doing good, Tom. Doing good. Thanks for joining us. And, we have a special guest. I'll let you do the special intro.
Yes.
And,
guys, we have a special guest today, guys. Most of you guys he don't even need an introduction, but guys, this guest today, he's an American mixed martial artist. He's got his mask. My guess he's an OG American mixed martial artist. He was an ex-WEC, the World Extreme Cage Fighting Welterweight Champion, ex-UFC veteran, guys. This man has fought in Pancrase. He's fought all around the world. He's fought in Shooto. He's fought in King of the Cage, Gladiator Challenge, M1 Global, Bellator mixed martial arts. Not only MMA, guys, our guest here today, kickboxing, boxing, Shotokan karate. He's fought in a whole mixture of martial arts. I'd like to welcome to the podcast Mr. International Shonie Carter.
What's going on? You forgot about IFC, International Fighting Council, Ironheart Crown. You forgot about the ISFC, all that stuff, all that. I was even contracted for Pride, but UFC bought them that day when I signed the contract.
All that. It's a ton of stuff, man. You got one of the longest lists that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother?
Brother, I can't complain. I'm right now. I'm working for the UFC gym in Lombard here in Chicago. Well, outside Chicago, and it's the Midwest's largest UFC gym. And I am literally living a crazy life because I'm a multitasking motherfucker, man. Ever since after my time with the UFC, I have become so damn busy, it is ridiculous. I'm talking like I've done cameo. I did a cameo appearance in Divergent. I've been a stunt double in an independent film. I was a Hair Wars model for Paul Mitchell.
Oh,
there you go.
We do have that.
And buckle up. Here's the funniest. My oldest child is 27. That's my daughter. I have a 18-year-old, soon to be 19, a 15-year-old son, and I have a 2-year-old daughter. I have a 1.5-year-old granddaughter. So my daughter and granddaughter are going to go to high school together. Dada 5000 wants to fight me. Europe contacted me yesterday about doing another fight.
Dada 5000?
And right now I'm on the south side of Chicago navigating bad traffic. It's nuts.
What's it like in Chicago right now, big dog? This whole virus thing. We'll probably get a little glitch here and there, guys.
Yeah.
Our friends all the way in Chicago, and with the virtual podcasts here and there, we do get some glitches here and there, but we will get back to them. Archie, do you remember Shonie from back in the day?
Yeah, I remember his fights. I was doing a lot of research recently also, and just the little that I remembered, the research just goes way back in as to who Shonie is, what he was doing, and especially his signature moves. I mean, What was one of those signature moves that he had there, Tom? I think
spinning back fist, bud.
there you go. And he did.
Well, one thing, it wasn't just a spinning back. It wasn't like your average, ordinary spinning back fist that just any old dude could throw. Shonie would set it up with the front lead roundhouse kick, just like that, like you just did right there. And I seen him do that not just in the Sarah fight, but before the Sarah fight, I'd watched Shonie do that same setup and technique out in the WEC in Lemoore quite a few times. You cut out for a second, but it's all good, big dog.
We're talking about your signature move there.
Hey, Shonie, I just want to.
Yes. You keep breaking up.
We're breaking up a little bit. Hey, we're talking about the back fist, and one thing that I saw, it seemed like I was just saying you weren't just a regular dude throwing a back fist. A lot of guys can throw a back fist. It seemed to me that before the UFC, before the Matt Serra, I watched you perform that back fist in a lot of other shows, and you weren't just throwing the back fist wild. It always seemed like you were setting it up with like a front roundhouse kick. Am I right there?
Yep.
Were you using that roundhouse kick to set this back fist up?
I use it a lot. I'm actually going to be teaching that particular technique tonight because I'm like I said, I'm at the Yorktown UFC gym as well, and I'm going to be going over the spinning techniques for the spinning back fist, spinning back kick at 5:30 Midwest time. Nihilus Fit, Yorktown Nation.
You've done all kinds of martial arts. I know one of your first martial arts was Greco-Roman wrestling, but at some point in your career you got into the karate, or where did you draw the spinning back fist from? Was it Taekwondo, karate? Where did you draw that out of?
I actually fought a 13-time world champion in Muay Thai on 45-minute notice. And talk about short notice fights. Named Manson Gibson. And he was notoriously known for the spinning back fist. And I saw him actually learned it watching him fight. And the first time I saw him fight, I had never seen anything like that. From me seeing it, I learned it. There are certain things like I almost have like a slight case, if you will. I don't have savantism, sort of. I don't know if you've ever known about those people who can look at something and do it.
Right.
I hope you hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you good.
We can hear you.
That's actually me. Yeah, that's actually me. Because I can watch something and I can look at it and do it. And give you another case in point, I used to train with Glover Teixeira, and he showed me he was demonstrating an escape from a key lock from the bottom. When somebody has the key lock on you, how to escape it. Well, I saw him do it once, and I learned it when I used to train with Rodrigo Medeiros, known as Comprito.
Badass.
He would do stuff, and I would look at what he was doing, and I could do it. And everybody was wondering, what did I like? For instance, where did I learn Greco-Roman like that? Well, I would get those random, strange opportunities to train with like really high-level Greco-Roman wrestlers or freestyle wrestlers. I'm not talking just collegiate. I actually worked out with Sergey Beloglazov, who actually almost beat John Smith in the '88 Olympics.
One of the best ever.
That's some high level right there.
Right. I spent, like, when I qualified to go represent the United States in Olympic wrestling years ago, I spent the summer with Attila Repka, the Olympic gold medalist in Greco-Roman, who beat Rodney Smith, the bronze medalist for the United States. And I trained on him in Bulgaria. No, that was in Budapest, Hungary, years ago, but this is before I was a fighter. And so when I came back home, everybody was wondering where the hell I get those Adidas from. I have the first version of the Adidas wrestling shoe that you can't get.
Nice.
You know what I was
so
wondering?
Yeah.
You know what I was wondering? It was one of my questions for today, and you just kind of answered it, is in your fights, you reminded me of in certain ways like Randy Couture and Dan Henderson. Whenever you would use your striking from the distance, but when you got inside, it was like you would use your longest weapons to shorter weapons to shorter to shorter. Eventually, you end up into a clinch with a guy, into a pummeling situation. And man, you always had a beautiful pummeling game and Greco-Roman throws.
I worked out with like Olympic gold and bronze medalists, and I never got credit, as far as what all I done. And even my wrestling coach in the summer, he was I wrestled at a junior college, and they invited me to the Midlands. And literally, they even accepted me into the '96 Olympic trials. You just can't walk up into the Olympic trials and want to wrestle.
Right.
Well,
yeah, for sure.
When I asked to try out, of course you had to go through the song and dance and sitting there and explaining why do I think I'm good enough to go out for the Olympics. Well, I didn't even get a chance to really finish explaining everything. But when I told them and I said the names correctly, I'm not lying, Sergey Beloglazov and Attila Repka, the coaches were like, "Who the hell are you?" And I told them my legal name. And of course, this is before the internet, social media stuff. And they actually looked it up right then on the spot. And they were like, "You're not lying." I'm like, "I don't know how to lie about it. I'm in the Marines." And they were like, "Wait a minute, you're in the Marines?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Why are you not with the Marines?" I said, "I'm not good enough." They told me I wasn't good enough. The captain in charge of the U.S. Marine Corps wrestling team said I was lying. I said, "You told me you'll see how I do at the Olympic trials if I get there." So I borrowed $96 from my brother, my younger brother, and he gave me money to catch the damn Greyhound to Chattanooga, Tennessee. And literally, everybody was like, even when I came into MMA, or versus before MMA, it was NHB. And everybody was like, "Who the hell are you?" And I told everybody, I said, "Look, y'all, I'm trying to make the '96 Olympics." And when I got into MMA, everybody was wondering, how the hell am I throwing these people around? Well, you got the answer.
Training with guys like that.
Right.
Hey, you mentioned something I haven't heard in a while, NHB.
Yeah.
You don't hear that nowadays.
Tell us about NHB for those that
No
haven't
hold
heard.
barred.
There you go.
Hey,
Yeah.
so in your eyes, what you've seen, is that what they were calling it before MMA?
Yeah, that's what it was called.
Hey, now,
Bellator.
me, the first mixed martial arts that I ever saw on TV, it was Extreme Fighting with Ralph Gracie, I believe. And
Yep.
that's the first time I had ever seen this mixed martial arts with all the different styles fighting. For you, Shonie, what was the first thing that you saw? Was it UFC? What was it? What was it, a live event, or was it something on TV?
It was Pancrase.
Pancrase.
In Japan?
It was. I saw. So I knew about Boss Rutan and all those guys.
Right.
That's why I knew about the Gracies. It wasn't anything that against the Gracies. It was just the fact that even my jiu-jitsu is not Brazilian. I'm Japanese jiu-jitsu.
Hey, talk about
Yes,
that.
I trained with Glover Teixeira and Rodrigo Medeiros, but that was a short time.
But
I never
before
got ranked in
before
Brazilian
that, though, you had trained in judo and Japanese jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah, I was all Japanese trained. And even now, like here in Chicago, everybody, even the peers around me, like the old school, like the people that make me look young as hell. Yeah, they were like, who are you under? Or who did I train with? Because they all laugh because I'm a black belt in all these different disciplines, but I don't know how to do kata. But I can execute traditional techniques because it was shoved down my throat from the fighter's perspective, not the kata perspective. I don't knock the traditionalists like that. It's just that I am considered almost like a Ronin samurai because I've studied under so many masters and everything that I would never take kata class. I could, if you go slow enough, I can follow your kata. You ask me to memorize that kata, I ain't got time because I got other shit to do. Now, there's gonna come a time when I don't pass a pre-fight physical. There will come a time. That's probably when I will start doing kata. But I can teach the fundamentals, what they call the kihon or the bunkai, like the basics and the reason for certain movements. I've even told people, I say, if you look up on YouTube, there's a video called Kata is Movement. And it shows the kata that you see it done in MMA or in various fights. There was even a movie by Michael Jai White where he was doing kata and the young MMA guys were talking shit. He ended up fighting the stud in the scene, and he was beating the dude's ass using very traditional techniques. Yeah, that's why I always laughed about it.
In your honest opinion, though, with that kata, with a guy that has just done kata, and I did kata and Goju-Ryu karate coming up as a kid.
Yeah.
Which it does teach you the form and the correct way to do the technique. But a guy with only the kata experience, how do you think he would do against a guy that's actually had the sparring and whatnot? No way.
Gone. No way. None.
He could be a black belt kata and it wouldn't match up.
Wouldn't mean shit. And some people, the traditionalists will get mad at me for saying that, but it's the truth.
It is the truth.
I know because I'm that guy. And I fought guys who were black belt because people get the mystique of they don't really understand the mystique of a black belt. The black belt who has a black belt martial arts makes a mistake. Mistakes are very close.
Very close.
People think that a black belt means you can kick everybody's ass. I have seen black belts get scraped up. Fuck yes. And I told
me a black belt, man, is just, to me, really, the black belt is just the beginning in any art.
You said it right. That's how they call it. That's what literally I'm sitting in front of master, like the founders and different systems. They all say that. They say the black belt is the beginning.
Yep. And those belts, once you get inside that cage,
it's a different fucking animal.
That belt doesn't mean anything once you get inside that cage.
You ain't got to get in that cage. You ain't got to get in the ring. I said, I don't give a damn if you come in the dojo. Let me illustrate a point. I studied judo intensely for 6 months, 1 semester in college. Okay. At the end of the semester, the professor, Dr. Stephen Carr, was like, talking to us. He brought up about the Tennessee State Championships in judo. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's run it. And he's like, that's not how we supposed to say that. I'm like, my bad. Because Tom, you know me for a long time. You know I don't have a fur on my tongue. So literally, I've been doing judo, but I was also doing Greco-Roman. So I go to the state championships. Well, feel like the class went, like 12 of us. And it was hilarious because I won the white belt to green division. You know, no flags were flying.
Did that Greco help you quite a bit?
Buckle up. So I said, Dr. Carr, can I try the brown belt division? He says, I don't know. I'm like, Dr. Carr, since I'm here, how much it costs? And at the time, my turn was only $25, I think, $35 or whatever. So I gave him the $35. Now the red flags go up because, one, I'm a white belt. Two, my classmates are like, where the hell you get $35 from? I said, I'm in the Marines. I said, I got my GI Bill check. What the hell y'all talking about? $35 ain't nothing. So I do it. He has to go sign me up because, he has to give the green light. So I go in the brown belt division, and the brown belts are looking down their nose at me. I'm like, I got you, Pimpin'. I got you. I absolutely wrecked the brown belt division.
Yeah.
3 in, 3 out. We got to go. Give me that gold medal. Thank you very much. And so one of the girls, I'll never forget it, she was the daughter of the president or the head dean of students. Her name was Dana Bowen. Dana was like, and she was that tiptoe baby with the big boobies, and she's a country girl. She's like, oh, Shonie, you're so good. You want to try the black belt division? And I was like, yeah, girl, right. Then I looked at him like, fuck, that's not a bad idea. I'm here. Why not? 2 tips in a bucket, fuck it. So literally I go, Dr. Carr. He's like, now listen to me, Shonie. Those are black belts.
So
what's the worst to happen? I get beat. I go, I give him another $35. He's like, no, it's 15 more. I'm like, $50? $50 to get an ass whooping? Fuck it. Give back my 35. I gave him a $50 bill. The black belts are now looking at me sideways because everybody's looking at a white belt who won the white belt to green and the brown belt. I won 2 state titles before going into the black belt division. The black belts are looking at me crazy. So I go up against the first one. I double-legged the shit out of him. And I pinned him. But it takes 14 seconds to pin somebody. It's called the hold down. Osa Komi.
Osai Komi.
So the second black belt I go up against, belly to back suplex because they stand straight up.
Oh shit!
Hit the duck under. Yeah, Tom, you remember them days for me. So I get in a pawn. I'm in the finals of the black belt division as a white belt, pinned and threw full upon 2 black belts. I'm going up against a 5th degree black belt. Now, he had enough of my shit. I actually tried to do a foot sweep and then it's called Diashi Barai. And yeah. I didn't get it. And I tried what they call a Hizagaruma, which is a wheel throw off the knee.
Yes.
Knee wheel throw.
The knee wheel.
He fell to his knee, so I got what they call a small score called a Yuko. The fact I even scored on a black belt, everybody was like, what the place went up. Everybody's clapping and cheering for the white belt going against the black belt. He got sick of my shit. To this day, I couldn't tell you if you put a gun to my head, what happened. All I remember was up in the air thinking, oh shit. He slung the hell out of me. Got in a pawn. And so even because I scored on him, literally, the head instructor, the head ref, was like, he gives me the come here gesture because I get a silver medal. I won 2 state titles and a state runner-up medal in one day. And they were like, who is your instructor? I said, Dr. Carr. And he says, and he cussed, there's no fucking way you're going to tell me you're a white belt. I'm like, I see what had happened was because Dr. Carr comes up and he verifies that, no, he's only been doing judo for 6 months. They were like, you scored enough points for promotion. And the guy was like, I'll be damned if I put a black belt on you today in 6 months. He said, I'll one day. 6 months and 1 day. And literally, I competed only as a brown belt throughout the 90s. I would wear a brown belt, but I felt it was not there because I was wrestling. You ain't gonna shoot me if I'm wrestling.
Kind of losing you there.
I would compete in the black belt division. And I told people, I said, your belt don't mean shit. And rank and file in your dojo on the streets.
All right, Tom. Hey, so looks like we have a bad connection there with Shonie.
Stories for days, Shonie
Stories
Carter.
for days. Yeah, here he comes back. You know, he also wanted to fight Mr. Floyd Mayweather, man. We got to get that story out of him.
Dude, this guy's got so many damn fights, bro. I just remember the fights out there in Lemoore, you know, mainly some of the best action that I saw.
Yeah, no, but he was calling out Floyd Mayweather just recently for a boxing match.
Oh, jeez, recently?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
This guy will still step in there and fight, dude. And I wouldn't put anything past him either.
There he is, Shonie. Hey, we were just talking about Shonie, about your interest in picking up a boxing match and stuff. We had lost you here for a while, but we're back.
We're back. Shonie Carter in Chicago. Shonie, what's your favorite place to eat in Chicago?
Shonie.
Go Shonie.
We'll get him back. But, you know.
Hey, you ever been to Chicago, Archie? I think I've asked you that before on here.
I have not, Tom. Yeah, we had some Chicago guests.
Hell of a city, man. Go Shonie.
Mr. Shonie Carter.
Can
you hear me, dog?
I'm back, still choppy.
Hey,
yeah.
Shonie, when you got the money in your pocket and it's anything you want, what's your favorite place to eat in Chicago? No dice?
No dice. Hey, Tom, that's a lot of fights there, man. 83 fights.
It's a ton of fight. Dude, this guy's got more than that. He's got more than that. Uh-oh, they're on you, dog. Shonie's got way more than that, dude.
5G, damn it, where are you, 5G?
Gotta get that 5G. Uh-oh.
91 fights in MMA, if not more.
Damn.
91 fights, bro. 51 wins.
So that is amazing, and that's one hell of a record. I mean, just to compete that long, you know what I mean?
Podcast interview. I was trying to do a double black. I'm back. Y'all back?
We're back. I'm here.
Where you at, bro?
I'm here. I'm on the streets of Chicago.
What's your destination?
Going to pay the rent to the landlord, then off to go teach online kickboxing.
Online kickboxing, huh? Hey,
I
so
don't like it.
Now, how's it? What's it like working for that UFC gym?
Everybody's really laid back, and it's crazy cool. You know, I mean, because these ain't fighters. Some people think they're fighters. They ain't fighters. You know,
That's just your average Joe?
Yeah, I mean, there's some. I will take that back. There's a couple that are amateurs, but it's pretty much the average person, and they want to get a splash or a taste of what it's like dealing with in the cage, because they have a cute cage in there and the grappling mats. It's mostly jiu-jitsu, and they because I'm not current on my registration of being a BJJ instructor or USA Judo anymore. They want me. They limit me to teaching kickboxing, which
That ain't right. Shit.
yeah. I mean, it ain't like I've never done.
Oh, they don't. They're doing it just by the statistics. They don't understand what they're missing out on the little grappling secrets that a guy like you has.
I laugh about it.
Yeah, that is. I'm laughing right now. You train with, Jess, the fact that you trained with Glover Teixeira and Comprido, mainly Comprido, that's a straight OG right there.
Right. Guinness Book of World Records, multiple time Abu Dhabi champion.
Yes.
Never mind, I was fourth in the nation in wrestling or the Olympic trials or 2 world teams. There's a purple belt and a brown belt there. It's a husband and wife team. The wife is a silver medalist as a purple belt, and she's under Comprido. Her husband is under Carlson Gracie Jr.
Okay.
Legit.
Wait a minute, buckle up. I actually trained with Carlson Gracie Sr.
Damn.
Legit.
And the thing is that only the guys who knew that was there know me like that. And I'm like, you guys have no idea.
Hey, what was it like training with Carlson Gracie Sr.?
Yeah.
Dude, I loved it. He was the nicest guy. Intense, but nice. And he was so professorial that it just made his jiu-jitsu was the fighting style for the big guy.
I was just gonna say he had more of a gi-less team.
Right. And people have questioned me like, really? And I show them the picture of Carlson and me sitting there like I'm not in a suit, I'm shirtless. I'm like,
yep,
guys, that was professor in me. My master professor in me. And I laugh because, like I said, when I go to the UFC gym, when I interviewed, they were like, "Can you rank people?" I'm like,
yeah, right.
No one doubts anything that I do. If I put a yellow belt on you, that's a tough yellow belt.
Right.
And the guys are like, well, we don't have yellow belts in jiu-jitsu. I said, in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, there's blue belts. Original Japanese jiu-jitsu, you walk up the ranks. But I said, by the time if you get a blue belt from me, you ready to hurt some people.
Took some time.
Right.
So I
talk about that.
I'm going by their structure. So whatever they want, I said, whatever you need me to cover, I can cover. I hate buses. I'm counting time on what I got to do.
Shonie, so we're talking about your teaching online. How's that coming along? Is that because your gyms are closed? I mean, I'm sure you guys are hit by the same, COVID we're running into. But what's going on with your online classes versus in studio?
Oh, you broke up bad.
Actually,
that's right. Hey, so just tell us a little bit about your online classes. What are you teaching?
Well, tonight I'm going to be working on spinning back fists, spinning back kicks from the southpaw and orthodox lead. And I'm going to teach the footwork. And I'm on a platform called Nilus Fit, NILUS.fit, FIT. And you can look up the Yorktown Nation or YT Nation.
So what's that website again?
It's the mall I teach at, the UFC gym, is Yorktown, and it's called the YT Nation. It's Nilus Fit, NILUS.fit. I think that's how it goes. So I'm going to be teaching. Sometimes I'll teach boxing, but today I want to work on the footwork setup. Like when you saw the back fist, I teach how to throw it off the lead leg and the rear leg. I'm going to work on both southpaw and orthodox, how to throw it off of any combination. And it's crazy is as long as you can move your feet correctly, you'll be able to do it. And that's the key to it, is being able to use your feet correctly.
Okay.
Because a lot of times I've seen people throw spinning back fists, and the fight is not over. I'm like, oh, your footwork. That's what it is. And I never try to come across as too judgmental, because whether it's Bellator, ONE FC, UFC, all of the new organizations or the new kids on the block, they're on TV, but they're still learning how to fight. So what I do is I try to teach. Oh my God, 87. How in the fuck did I miss my turn? So what I do is I teach the correct way to execute the techniques. Damn, I missed my turn. Holy shit. I went way over. It's okay. I got this. Told you I'm a multitasking motherfucker. I got this.
You're on a podcast, a phone, and a car.
Broadcast.
A 5-speed stick, trying to get to work on time.
Hey Tom, so when Shonie went to go visit you in Visalia at your gym, how many different occasions and would you guys go over there, man? What do you remember from that?
Well, I got to know Shonie from I fought out there on the same card with him out there in the Lemoore at the WEC, and plus just cornering guys.
You guys were on the same card.
Yeah, and
nice.
and a lot of times I'd have guys like Doug Marshall and these different guys fight out there.
Doug Marshall, that's the name. Yeah.
That's
Rhino.
how I met Shonie, though.
The Rhino.
Anyhow, I met Shonie through just backstage, and he was a cool guy, real nice, easy guy to get along with. And just out of nowhere, I asked him if he would come and do a seminar, and he agreed to it and came and did a seminar one time. And I remember in that seminar, we learned quite a few different things. Basic clinching and hip throws were part of that. And what I like to do, if I see a guy like the things that he's good at, when they come to my school, I want to ask them about those tips in the seminar. But the spinning back fist was part of it.
Oh, really?
And I remember him showing that front lead leg roundhouse kick. And when your body, as you throw that kick, your body, just the momentum of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
centrifugal force.
Yes, centrifugal force, exactly. You see a lot of guys today in MMA now, when they throw, you see it. I saw it this last weekend a bunch. When they throw that front leg roundhouse, they're like stopping it. You know what I mean? They're hitting the front leg. Yeah, they're not continuing through with that force, because there is a lot of force behind that. Right, Shonie?
Yeah, they tend to stop. I'm like, no, you go through with it.
But yeah, the seminar, man, the seminar, to me, it was just having a really cool guy come in, you know what I mean, a high-level dude. And we had a bunch of fighters at the time. And so we soaked it up. You know, it was a lot of basic stuff, a lot of real basic stuff, but great stuff.
But back then, so, you guys did a lot of jiu-jitsu. And that was a lot of groundwork, Tom. So when Shonie came in, what kind of things did he show you as far as standing or as far as clinch work? What's your specialty there, Shonie? Tom?
Well, for me, I tell people understanding how to pummel and to get to they call it 50-50, or I call it the mano-a-mano conflict. Understanding the clinch control position is integral, not just trying to shoot a double leg. I don't want to shoot a double leg. That's scoring points. I want to make a point that I'm better than you.
Right. Easy now. Hey, now.
but it's true, though, because a lot of it, what he's talking about is when you get in that 50-50 and that pummeling position, right, the guy who can control that, a lot of times you will wear the other guy out and you will have control of the fight.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I've actually challenged, I put an open challenge on people. I say, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, follow me, whatever, if you can find any footage of an MMA fight with me, involving me, see if you can find footage of me shooting a double leg.
I was about to ask you that. I said, so what are you saying? So as far as an MMA fight, shooting a double leg or getting underneath somebody is definitely not recommended, right?
Yeah, I don't see a point to it. Because not to mention, nowadays, who wrestled? And I tell people, and I don't mean to in a disparaging way. I mean, there are a lot of MMA fighters, a lot of jiu-jitsu practitioners who never wrestled. And if they did, if they wrestled, it might have been 1 or 2 years at the high school level.
Right.
The only double legs you see now, it's as if a guy can actually set it up with punches, and the only double leg I see now that works is a double leg with a lasso after, where they'll hook the leg and take him down. You don't. Hey, whenever you see a double leg, normally the guy sprawls and it ends up in a scramble.
Right. I see. That's what I tell people. I said we've seen guys get knocked out. Remember Ben Askren trying to shoot in on George Masvidal?
Yep, not good.
That didn't go very well.
Did not go well at all.
About it. He thought he was this alpha wrestler. And remember, everybody used to think that Askren could beat George St. Pierre. I'm like, get the hell out of here. Y'all crazy.
No way. I think George St. Pierre could come back and beat most of the guys out there today.
Right.
I heard was it Adesanya or Usman? One of the two wants to fight him in a super fight.
These guys, man, if they could have just fought him back when George was even in his prime, they wouldn't have a chance.
Yeah.
Shonie, did the upper body wrestling, like I always mention yourself, Randy Couture, and Dan Henderson are probably the three people. You guys are the three people that I saw it the most with. But it seems like when you get into a clinch like that with a guy, if they're not as good as you could tire a guy out pretty quick right there, right?
Really?
And you can feel it. You can feel it when the guy's tired after that pummeling.
Incredibly quick. Oh my God, I can't even are you kidding me? Oh wow.
We got Shonie all locked up in here.
So where you headed, Shonie?
No,
to the gym?
No, what it is, I was headed to the bank. And because they tore up the damn bank, throughout the looting. I was trying to multitask in this interview by trying to get money out the ATM. But
is there a lot of looting over there?
Huh?
Is there a lot of looting over there?
They do. They tore up the south side.
Really?
Damn.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I didn't see a lot of that on the news, but I just imagine the inner cities, man.
Hey, get that food question Tom, now that we got a good connection about that foodie.
Hey,
we got to get the food
Shonie. When I was in Chicago, I went over there for a tough tryout when they were doing it in Chicago back in the day.
I remember. Yeah.
And it was the experience. I actually did really well, but there was a ton of people. But the greatest experience was me and my brother just going around Chicago and eating. And man, there was the food. Dude,
yes, sir.
Hey, answer me this. If I'm in Chicago and I got the bucks in my pocket, or you, where's the number one spot that you're going to go to eat? If you got your choice. Well, your favorite place?
I can't.
One of the favorites.
Too much. Way too many places. My
What do you
God.
like though? What's one of your favorites?
Fogo de Chao, Brazos, Morton Steakhouse, Giordano's Pizza. Oh,
Damn.
Robinson's Ribs. Top 5.
What's the ultimate steakhouse?
Ooh, shit, man. We got all the top steakhouses in the country.
I know. I hear about it.
Morton's, Ruth Chris, McCormick and Schmick's, Fogo de Chao, Brazos. And those last two are Brazilian.
Oh.
That
You have a
Fogo
little
de
red
Chao.
color.
I heard about Joe Rogan talks about that Fogo de Chao.
Does he?
That's a steakhouse?
You ain't did nothing with your life until you eat at Fogo de Chao.
Oh shit.
You are an underachiever. I don't care about your no. If you have
You
a
heard it,
franchise
RG?
of gyms, I don't care if you got a UFC title, or Morton's or Ruth Chris. You are still a rookie in life. You are a greenhorn.
Damn.
My
Damn.
God, you got Similac on your breast. Go use some scope. Oh my damn!
You heard it right there, Archie.
Oh,
That's it. That's the favorite
Huh?
spot. I'm gonna rewind this, and so we make sure next time we get out there, we're gonna hit it.
Mr. International Shonie Carter.
you got my phone number. You have my phone number.
We got your
We'll
number.
go on a tour, and I'll make sure
There you go,
that you
Tom.
get to all 5 spots.
Damn.
Me and Archie are going to be taking. Me and Archie are going to be taking a United States Grand Tour here pretty soon.
Wait, he's breaking up. Oh, I hate that when he's break up. These damn robotic. I wonder how I sound on your end.
You're good.
You sound pretty good, actually. You sound good for being in a car, traveling around. You sound real good.
You got a good
Okay,
connection.
well, it's just breaking up on mine. I don't have 5G. I don't have an iPhone.
I think they got that 5G going, man. Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, I hear you now. It comes
All
in
right.
and out.
Well, hey, I got questions from when people found
Shoot.
out we were going to have you on the show. I got local guys that were hitting me up with some questions. One of the questions is this, and I've always wondered too. When you fought here in WEC, one of the things
Yes.
that you're known for, Shonie, is walking out in that nice, beautiful pimp suit. I call it a pimp suit. It's just a beautiful suit, but it kind of reminds me of like a pimp wardrobe. Hey,
Yep.
but you were known for always coming out in a different, beautiful suit with a hat, and you always had an armful of women. Was that part of your deal? Where did that start at, man?
Honestly, my grandfather taught me about the 30s and 40s. How the guys would dress. Men were men. They wore suits everywhere.
Nice.
And there's the wingtip Stacey Adams.
Oh, I
you
remember
know,
that. Wingtips.
Break
Right.
it down.
So when I saw that, because my grandfather was always clean. If it was grocery store or going to church, he
Really?
was clean. Oh my
nice.
God.
And he dressed like that too?
Dude, my mother's father, he wasn't a pimp, but he dressed crisp.
Classic.
I love it.
His tie clip would line up with his belt, the cufflinks, everything. The shoes matched the socks matched the shirt.
The cane?
And it was like my grandmother did not take as long to get dressed as my grandfather.
No shit.
And literally, it rubbed off. And then when I went to the Marines, they taught me the gig line. Everything lined up. My grandfather told me, if you're going to be in front of a large group of people, put your best foot forward. And you might as well have a lady on your arm. Well, I got greedy. For me, it was like, I ain't going to lie, between Louisiana and California, okay, I'm not knocking the ladies from California, but them damn women down in Louisiana, oh my damn. But then when I was out there in California, oh, Georgia and Louisiana women.
Another level or what?
I don't know, it was something in the water. And then when I went out there to Cali, remember LL Cool J? I'm going back to Cali.
Oh yeah.
Cali.
Oh yeah.
Cali.
Going back to Cali. I don't think so.
Man, I was like, is this what y'all doing? Is this what y'all doing? Okay. And it made it really between Louisiana and LA, both abbreviated LA. It made things hard for women out here in Chicago for me. Because when women think that they attend here in Chicago, they might be a 6 everywhere else. And down Louisiana and Georgia and Mississippi and in LA, oh my God. It was like,
hell yeah.
Damn. And of course, I took advantage of it because I know for a fact that when you at a fight show, we are the blue collar celebrities. And everybody wants their little 5 minutes of fame. And ladies love when they know a man can get it. When you get a woman to smile and laugh and uncross her arms and you make her feel secure and you give her a little bit of fame to her name. Come on, baby. What you doing right now? You want to be on TV? Come on. And they think you joking. And then when I wasn't playing, and not to mention, think about this. The promoter wants, whether it's a nightclub promoter or a fight promoter, he wants women in the audience. He wants women to be seen on TV or in his show because they know men will come. And if women are there, that's more butts in the seat.
So it's just basically it's a show, right? You want to make a show promotion.
It's a show. It is a damn show.
Yeah.
Poor John Jones. Dana White was buying a new light heavyweight title belt every time a champion defended it. Most people, even in current MMA, can only know the names of the fighters, the champions, only when the champions fight. Only the hardcore fans can rattle off who's champion of what division.
Right.
Because these fighters fail to realize it's a business.
Yeah, especially now, right now.
People know Ronda Rousey. Why do people know Conor McGregor?
Exactly.
They know Cowboy Cerrone still, but they can't even tell you who the lightweight, the bantamweight, the flyweight champions are, let alone the number 1, 2, 3 contenders. And hell, even some of the champions. Right now, pop quiz, fellas.
All right.
Name the champions. I'll wait.
From the bottom.
Right now. UFC, you know what I'm talking about. Name them. Go ahead. Start spewing.
Okay. So,
damn! Checkmate. That's my point.
It didn't come out right away.
And it's crazy because they're champions, but they don't know how to market themselves. Why am I interviewing with y'all when I'm 15, 20 years out of the WEC?
Because you got a name and you're still out there, and you got history with Tom.
Market myself.
You know how to.
I knew how to market myself.
Yeah.
Why am I wearing a UFC gym coach's shirt right now? They hired me because they knew who I was.
You know that's
history. You got history in my eyes, big dog.
And I tell people.
Yeah.
I tell the fighters, I say, if you do not know how to market yourself, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because it's a business. Me, I knew how I furthered my business. I stayed cool with you, Tom. I stayed cool with all of them. Even when you saw me with those ladies, I would take them salsa dance. And Tom, I would take them on the dance floor.
Take them on the dance floor. Hey,
yeah,
those WEC days, man. That in Lemoore, out there in the outdoor in the open air, those are some of the funnest days I remember with MMA, man.
It was, and that made you tougher because outdoor breathing and indoor breathing is way different.
Whole different thing out there. Hey, that fight
It's
out
a
there was
whole
really
different
something
animal.
else. Hey,
It was.
before you came to Lemoore, what actually brought you to Lemoore? Was it the WEC, or how did that happen for you? Did you know that the WEC could
Literally,
get you into the UFC?
Well, what it was, I was in the UFC before the WEC, and literally Scott Adams, he fought in the UFC,
Yes.
and he remembered me walking out in that gold suit with that fedora on when I beat Matt Serra, and the whole spectacle of the idea of a guy walking out there in Speedos in a gold suit talking much shit and then winning. Remember Matt Serra was the Abu Dhabi world champion.
Yep.
And I beat him using a karate technique when everybody was talking shit about karate. And jiu-jitsu was everything. And
that's that old back fist from Matt Serra.
Right. And it's crazy because people, the business of the fact that I changed, think about this, the complex idea of MMA. You pretty much get it. People, we all get it. But the idea of what you generally see in MMA now versus back then, no one had ever seen a spinning back fist. That was UFC 31. So he had 31 opportunities and more than 31 karate guys with a karate background in the UFC.
Wow.
All of them came from famous dojos. All of them was screaming, "I'm tough." I came out screaming, "I'm sexy," and you know it.
Yeah.
And
So,
it left an indelible mark upon the industry, so that now you see spinning back fists, not just on Matt Serra. You see it in the UFC still. You see it in other organizations.
right.
I changed the game.
Well, you're even helping out Mr. JSP to showing him how to do the smooth walk on what is it, Tough 4? You remember that one there?
Yeah, teaching him to walk like a pimp, like you got all day to get there.
There it is.
And literally,
Check it out.
I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I'm gonna let y'all in on a huge secret. On the show, okay, you see it on YouTube where George says, "I can't believe there are people out there like you." Do you remember when he said that about me?
I'm not quiet, man. Tell us about that.
With that game.
It's there. You're playing it right now.
Okay, on that one.
Literally, I showed GSP in like 7 to 10 minutes how to beat Matt Hughes.
Oh, nice.
I taught him Taitoshi to a Jujigatami, or basically the throw that Fedor uses or Ronda Rousey used on all of the people, and literally to an armbar. When George St. Pierre rematched Matt Hughes, that's what he used on him. And I showed him how to throw two low kicks, one high kick. And I'm gonna tell you how I did it. I taught him. I did it to him. I was training bare knuckle. Yeah, and they edit it. It's on the editing room floor. I was sparring with GSP bare knuckle karate. And literally, I said, "Do what you do. I'm gonna show you. I got you." He shot a double leg, and I jacked him up and I threw him with a judo throw to a traditional crossbody armbar.
Nice.
And literally, he did the same damn thing to Matt Hughes. And let me tell you why I knew how to beat Matt Hughes and how I could teach George St. Pierre how to beat Matt Hughes. Buckle up. I beat Matt Hughes in college wrestling.
Right.
No shit.
And no shit. And literally, people have argued with me over that. I'm like, no, I got the record to prove it. I've got it. I've got my old college transcript of my record. His brother, Mark, his twin brother,
yes,
was a better wrestler than him. Mark fought in the UFC. I think he won, but he wasn't into it too much.
Oh, yeah. No, he won. He definitely won without any training, right? He just went in there and
Right.
he basically won a freaking UFC match, a freaking Olympic
Yeah.
wrestler, Schultz. You're talking about Schultz, right?
Yeah.
Mark Schultz. Dude, that's badass, Tom. What a story.
And it was crazy because I was telling people, they're like, you really even Randy Couture at a WEC that when we flew out on Sunday, when I was late getting up, and he kept banging on my door. Shonie, hurry up! I'm like, all right, whatever, chill out. And we were riding back to the airport, and he asked me. He said, Shonie, did you even wrestle? I'm like, yeah, man. And I didn't make that much a big deal because this Randy Couture. And then on the show, he asked me again, and Dan Henderson asked me. They're like, did you really wrestle? I'm like, touch my ears again. You're going to find out. Because Dan grabbed me by the ear, and I don't like people grabbing my ears. I said, you touch my ears again, it's going to be you and me, pimping. It's going to be you and me. And he's like, oh, I said, what you say? I said, I'm going to clown your ass. Touch my ears again. I dare you. I fucking dare you. He didn't touch my ears again. And I laughed because Carlos Newton was even asking me. He said, where did you get your golden gloves? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Where did I get my golden gloves? I said, you sign up for the golden gloves. I said, you know what? You and Dan, y'all are cute. I'm going to go on and over here. So I was always like a smart ass, but I didn't mean to be arrogant with it. I just laughed about it because, like, when people have asked me who's the GOAT in MMA, and they come up with Anderson Silva or George St. Pierre, and I don't argue that. But I tell people, I said, well, they're GOATs in MMA. I said, I'm the unheralded GOAT in martial arts. I competed in several, like 16 forms of martial arts. I have 7 black belts.
Wow.
I've competed nationally and internationally, but I don't beat my chest over it and bellyache about not being in the Hall of Fame. I giggle about it because I'm in the Martial Arts Hall of Fame with Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris and Wesley Snipes and Michael Jai White. I want the Black Belt Hall of. I really love to say I'm in the Hall of the Black Belt Magazine Hall of Fame, or I would, by every means, accept a UFC Hall of Fame induction. But I'm not going to cry about it because I did not get into martial arts to get into the Hall of Fame. I wanted to test what we all saw growing up as kids.
Right.
I know y'all saw Samurai Sunday.
Yeah. So all this intrigued you, and you wanted to test this.
I wanted to see if it was real.
There you go. Yeah, no, you're right.
I wonder if it was hocus pocus.
With all this experience, man, one thing that you've gotten out of all this martial art experiences, it looks like you've traveled the world.
Oh, fun. It's been fun.
What's been your favorite place?
Oh my gosh.
Around the world, what's your favorite spot?
I don't have one, but I'm going to tell you some beautiful places. Germany in the fall is gorgeous. Hawaii is cool, is straight up all the time. Japan, late summer. Budapest, Hungary, late summer going into fall.
Wow.
Abu Dhabi was hot.
Hot as fire.
Egypt was, oh my damn. That was crazy. I took a real big risk in Egypt because I did a fight in Israel, and I told the promoter I want to go to Egypt because I heard so much about the pyramids and the Sphinx, and I had a world map. I used to carry a map, a worldwide BlackBerry, and a camel pack. You didn't know this, Tom, because I knew I could survive California. But I literally always had global navigation equipment with binoculars with me, no matter where I went. So I would travel, and I really took a risk. I went to Egypt. I gave away one of my suits to the promoter if he bought me a ticket to Egypt. And I gave him a very expensive suit, a brown camel hair suit, tailor made and everything. And his name is Haim Ghazali. He actually fights. He's fought in Bellator. And Haim, you can double check the story too. I actually went to Egypt during the time when the president of Egypt was getting kicked out.
Wow.
And so I always wanted to see political, government, civil unrest in a country. So I went on purpose, and they told me it's not safe for Americans. I didn't give a shit. No shits did I give. Where am I? Not Wisconsin. 55.
You know it's real when you got a camel hair suit.
Yeah, right.
No. Ooh, I hope I'm going the right way. Lord, hope I'm going the right way. 55 South, thank God. Yes.
You know what else, Tom?
I hope y'all still there.
You know what else is really intriguing is that not only have you gone all over the world, but Shonie, you've met so many people.
Whisper mode.
And Tom, here's another example of the great people that Shonie's been around, right? Don Fry. I mean, not only has Shonie been around these folks, talked to them, and he got interviewed. He's interviewing somebody here, but the people that he's fought, I mean, the who's who of MMA, right? I mean, especially throw out some names, Tom. I'm gonna find the names for you here, but he has fought. Gosh, I'm gonna go Joe Riggs, Shannon Rich. Let's keep going with some killer names. Carlos Newton.
He fought one of my teammates. Big Dog.
And so
Jason Biswell.
There he is, Jason Biswell.
Yes.
John Fitch. We're just going over. We're going over all the famous people that not only that you fought, but the people that you met.
I can't hear y'all.
Oh, Tom, you want to take it over and then kind of, in closing, right?
Yeah, you know what, man? We're gonna have to get you back on again, Shonie, when you're settled down.
Hey, but we spent a good hour, a good time right now.
Yeah, the podcast is just about to end.
Oh no!
Did you,
Shonie? I want to thank you, Shonie Carter, for coming on to the show. Everybody out there, hey, man, keep your head up. I know we're going through this virus and everything, and before you know it, me and Archie, we'll be back in the studio together, and we'll be doing these shows from a studio again. But Shonie Carter, hey, thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for coming on the show today. We'll get you back in, Shonie. One of these days, me and Archie will.
I'd love to.
Yes,
I'd love to. I want to talk to you about me still blinging stuff out from my daughter. I blinged out her crystal push cart. I want to give y'all more, but I can't. We got bad reception.
It's all good.
It was good for the most part.
Next time you get on the show, you got to wear that pimp hat.
Let's see.
Oh, I'm gonna put on the whole thing. I got some new shoes. I got you to see.
Nice.
Oh, man.
All
right, guys. Hey, well, it was an honor having Shonie Carter on, a real historical, legendary individual in the MMA world and martial art world. Not just MMA, guys, but the single martial arts. Shonie's been through a bunch of them. It's one thing I like to have with our guests. But, Archie, anything else you got to say, my brother?
Well, go ahead, Shonie.
Yeah, I was going to say thank y'all for having me. I'm at Apex House of Grappling. And if you're in Chicago, my number is 773-698-2224. That's just for you guys. But for anybody, if you want to train with me, let me know. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook.
Right.
And I hope to talk to y'all again, okay?
It's going to happen either in person or for sure we're going to get this virtual thing going. I wanted to appreciate, for you spending this time with us. Shonie, I want to say thank you.
It was definitely my pleasure.
All right, Mr. International Shonie Carter, thank you very much, my brother. We'll talk to you again soon, my brother.
All right, y'all take care.
All right, thank you, Shonie.
Okay.
Take care, my brother.
Have a good day.
All right.
All right, guys. Just like that.
Wow.
Mr. International Shonie Carter.
Tom, you've been talking about wanting to get Shonie on the show for a little while. We got him on the show, and I see why. I mean, not even just now, but even before, right? Each time we've been talking about him, and what an amazing
man, honestly, there's out of all the fighters that are out there today, I know there's some badass dudes that are out there in the UFC. There's not a lot of guys out there that have that kind of martial art experience. And honestly, like that dude, man, he's been through all kinds of competitions: karate, kung fu, kickboxing, boxing. Look at Corey Cass says Shonie Carter taught the best seminar I've ever had at my school.
Wow. That says
that
something.
Kind of stuff is true, because when you get a guy like that, hey, dude, a guy like Shonie Carter, when he came into my school, hey, we didn't ask for anything. Like, he asked me, like, what do you want me to show? And I just told him, you know what? I asked for a couple basic things. The pummeling.
Yeah.
Like I said, there were things that I seen that Shonie was good at in fights, which was upper body clinching, upper body takedowns, and like setups with strikes. Because all of the strikes that Shonie Carter throws at you, there's a meaning behind all of them. He's not just throwing wild shit out there at you.
Yeah.
Everything he throws is setting something up, which was really cool. And cool ass dude too, man. Just a super cool dude. And like I said, his walkout, like out there in Lemoore, his walkout was probably one of the funnest that I've seen. You know what I mean? It got the crowd riled up.
And you know what, Tom? I mean, if I can interrupt you, his walkout, you're talking about, he was saying about what got him noticed, right? He got noticed when different times, especially because of his persona. His dad liked to dress up. So, he just made that into his show, part of him. And those are the things that help out, help get you noticed. Bottom line, that's what he was saying.
And the military, I didn't realize that Shonie Carter was in the military, but he actually got some of that fine dressing from the military, he pointed out.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Hey, but dude, if you look back, man, that dude, out of all those fights in Lemoore, he always walked out in a different suit. Hey, and I don't know if it was the promoter's idea, like I've said it before, but he'd walk out with at least 4 to 6 girls on his arms, dude. And it was something else, man. It was something different most guys weren't doing. But then he'd get in there and he looked, hey, I know there's a lot of guys that look super comfortable when they get inside the cage. Like, people can look comfortable when you're inside there, but the inside feeling might be a complete different thing. But right. Shonie Carter, he really did look like he was enjoying himself in there, which probably had a great deal to do with his success.
Longevity.
But, yeah, his longevity, man.
Jesus.
Hey, when someone tells me that they want to fight at 48, I won't put it past them, because I saw Randy Couture in the UFC, I believe, had the belt at age 46. You know what I mean? Like, Randy Couture still looked really good at 46. You can do a lot in this world, man. It just depends on how you treat your body and, what you do with it. But
yeah,
I don't like to be honest, I don't like to hear guys that are getting back in there at 48. You know what I mean? Unless maybe they're getting the right kind of fight or whatever. But who am I to say? You know what I mean? If I was offered a fight, I'd probably be dumb enough to take it. You know what I mean? At 45. But I hope everybody out there enjoyed the show. We're gonna keep on taking locals in. We're looking for women, guys. We want to expand the show with. We need more women on the podcast. There's a lot of women fighters out there and a lot of women coaches, but there's a lot of women that are involved in BJJ, wrestling, and MMA that aren't, they're not getting out there, and we'd like to get you on the show. So if you guys have anybody, hit up me and Archie. During the show today, Archie, I just got us a new guest. Somebody hit me up with a UFC fighter here.
All right. Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's what we're here for.
He's a UFC referee, actually, that I just got hit up with.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to get Bobby Warmbacher on. He's going to be coming on. But, referees, cutmen, doctors.
Oh,
If you're
Tom, if I can
talk about
interrupt
that
you.
doctor guy, dude.
Well, actually, you know who the CSAC and Camo are two excellent candidates. We're reaching out. CSAC and Camo.
Yep.
Tell us what's going on with the fighting industry. CSAC and Camo, they know it all. We need to get some representatives from either one. We know a few names, so we're going to be looking for these guys real soon. Get them online and tell us what the hell's going on in California Athletic State Commission and with Camo fight amateur MMA.
Something's going on good with it. With the, I don't understand quite what the amateur deal's going on because they're not getting going like the pros are. But like Dana White knows what he's doing. He's got the UFC going, man. There's a UFC almost every week now, and but he's got the right idea going. I hope that our amateur promoters, like Jeremy and some of these other guys that we know, I hope they get it up and going too because man, our amateur scene is what it's about around here.
Yeah, I think it's the deep pockets. That's some of the differences, right? Between our
I think
local
that's what it is. The Bucks.
It could be.
Could be.
Just even Bellator took this long. They're about to get their first fight coming up. When is it? Bellator is going to come up real soon here. But that's what's going on, Tom. We just basically got to wait and hopefully we can get these fights back. But we definitely need to get CSAC on here. And speaking
this
of which,
virus thing, dude, I had a buddy come back from work today that went out with the coronavirus.
No, yeah,
right, and he's back now. Today's his first day back. He said he didn't even feel anything. He said he had it. He said he didn't feel any symptoms at all, and he had it. So some people get sick and some people don't. It's one of those things. I got a feeling it's going to all be over with before we know it. But,
yeah, no, absolutely. And so this just kind of,
I'd like to get back on a regular path of things.
Right. Let's kind of close it up and give our sponsors a little shout out, huh?
Well, hey man, when are we going to go up inside that La Enchilada, big dog?
Yeah, we'll talk about it offline, but we're scheduled to be out there tomorrow, Tom. I'll let you know here in a bit.
Okay, so we are planning on tomorrow still.
Yeah, we'll talk about
All right, so get a hold of me right after this. But yeah, guys, hey, me and Archie, man, we're gonna have a new show going with the restaurants where we go around and we're gonna be, I'm not sure the name yet, but we're gonna be giving people real insight on some of these restaurants. But one of our sponsors, La Enchilada Mexican restaurant. I say it all the time, man. It's some of the best Mexican food here in the Valley, and I've been to a lot of them. But the burritos, the tacos, the tortas, the sopes, hey, bomb.com.
That's it.
Gentle Art CBD. It's basically, guys, a lot of you guys know that I suffer. I don't like to talk about it, but I do suffer from seizures from time to time. And I've had the Gentle Art CBD is a part of my regimen now, Archie, and I take it pretty much every day in the morning and at night. And I don't know if it's part of the thing that's helping, but the seizures have went away. I'm not having the bad ones anymore. And along with my medicines, the CBD is a part of my regimen. So I'm going to keep on taking it. I think it is helping. And it's a great CBD company. It's at a not too crazy of a price. A lot of CBDs are very expensive. They're a little overpriced. Gentle Art CBD, they got gel capsules. They got the drops. They got edibles. They got all these different forms you can take it. But the Gentle Art CBD is a good one. A lot of props out to them, guys.
Absolutely.
And then who else we got? We got Dollar Bills.
Dollar Bill Auto Sale, Tom. These guys are from Visalia. They're right there, downtown Visalia, and they're an MMA sponsor, right? So they kind of joined with us a few months ago, but we decided to give them a shout out here because of the COVID. Those that were supporting us, we want to support them back. And if you need a car, get out there to Dollar Bill Auto Sales in Visalia, and it's a great place to get yourself a car. Good startup or a good new one.
Hey, and they're out there to help you guys. It doesn't matter what kind of income you got. They'll work with you out there. You go in there with an open mind, and they'll work with you. Right now is a good time for that. You know what I mean? You need a vehicle. No better time than now.
That's it. And that's the show, Tom. And, we just got to give thanks to our guest, our special guest, Mr. Shonie Carter. Thanks for, everybody knows him here in the Valley. a lot of the guys, like you were saying before the show, were saying good things about Shonie and ask him this, so amazing.
A lot of the new breed, man, they don't really know who Shonie Carter is. Like a lot of the new kids that are fighting today. Yeah. But hey, it's all on YouTube. It's all on YouTube. You can go back. It's all on the internet. You can go back and watch some of these old school fights. And man, they're legendary. Hey, what's up with Venom?
So Venom, they ended up working with or signing a deal with UFC. So Venom is now taking the place of Reebok, and supposedly Venom's going to give the fighters a better deal. So we'll see, hopefully. And it kind of makes sense, or it's kind of good that a company, MMA company, clothing line, Venom, who knows what else they're into, is actually have enough money to compete against freaking Reebok and beat the contract, beat it out against Reebok. It's crazy.
That is crazy. So you have something you've contacted with them or what?
No, that's not us, Tom. I mean, that's UFC. I'm sorry. UFC actually got a contract with Venom.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. No. But shit, we're going to have to get a hold of them too.
Oh, yeah. Well,
so
we're always looking for more sponsors, guys. So you guys can always hit us up. Anyhow, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you guys this next week. And we will have a good guest on this next show. I got a good feeling. We got a few different ones lined up here.
Yeah, we do. We got.
We'll post it here in the next couple of days.
Yeah, there's this one guy that I've been really amazed with his work ethic. From Santa Cruz, and we'll just kind of throw out some names later. But great guests coming up. All right, Tom. Let's just close it up, and we'll talk to you in a bit here. Hang out, Tom.
All right. Peace and love to everybody out there.
Peace. How about a couple elbows? Bam.
With that back fist. For Shonie.
There you go.